Hello, my name is Jack Altman, and this film is about ancient Greek and Roman chariots. Chariots were two-wheeled vehicles driven by horses, either 2 or 4 horses. They were usually made of wood, strengthened and decorated with bronze or iron. They were used for battle and for general transportation, but also were used for races and the entertainment of crowds. Chariot races were part of the ancient Olympic Games since 684 BCE. A good example of a chariot is the one shown here. This is a beautiful bronze chariot inlaid with ivory, believed to be from around the second quarter of the 6th century BCE in the Archaic period. In 1902, the parts of this chariot were accidentally discovered underground in Italy. It is believed to have been used by the Etruscan culture. It has been in possession of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York for more than 100 years. This chariot has a height of 130.9 centimeters and a length of 209 centimeters. Depicted on this chariot are episodes from the life of Achilles, the Greek hero of the Trojan War. In the center, Achilles is shown receiving a shield and a helmet from his mother. This left shows combat between 2 warriors believed to be Achilles and the Trojan Memnon. On the right, it shows Achilles ascending in a chariot drawn by winged horses. This type of chariot was not used for battle, but rather to be used in parades or special occasions, and would usually be used by significant or important people. Homer's Iliad, which provides the story of Achilles shown on this chariot, contains many references to chariots being used in war. While every important hero in the Iliad has his own chariot and personal driver, some, like Achilles' friend Patroclus, were noted as particularly skilled charioteers. In the Iliad, chariots were used for more than just combat, and were mostly used to transport heroes and warriors to and from the battlefield. In addition, at Patroclus' funeral, Achilles organizes a chariot race with 5 contestants. The Iliad describes the excitement of the race. And I quote, "The chariots at one time bent low to the earth that nurtures many, and that another bounded high in the air. Their drivers stood in their chariots, and each man's heart was beating hard in his desire for victory. And each man was calling out to his horses as they flew across the plain in the clouds of dust." One of the most famous chariots in ancient mythology was the chariot of Helios, the sun god, pulled by 4 winged horses. The story is often told about Helios' son Phaeton and his fatal driving of Helios' chariot. This story is found in many sources, including Ovid's Metamorphoses. In the myth, Phaeton asks to borrow, and I quote, "command and guidance of his father's steeds, wing-footed and his chariot for a day." However, Helios was very concerned about this, as it was a very hard journey, and the horses are hard to control. Even though Helios was hesitant to grant Phaeton's wish, he ended up allowing his son to drive the chariot across the sky. According to the myth, while driving the chariot, Phaeton lost control and burned parts of the earth, now the African desert, when the sun and the chariot got too close, while freezing other parts when the chariot went too far from the regular path. The myth states the situation got so bad that Zeus had to strike Phaeton with a thunderbolt to stop the damage, and the chariot was wrecked. As stated in the myth, the chariots were probably very difficult to master, especially those chariots that were designed to be fast, or which used very strong horses, which were difficult to control. The myth strongly suggests that only certain trained people were able to drive chariots well, and that it was a skill that only could be acquired with the natural ability and extensive training. Perhaps this myth served as a reminder to young Greeks and Romans that they needed to take their time and be diligent in their studies before they could enjoy this complex technology. In particular, you should make sure you are prepared and careful if you're going to borrow your father's car, especially one with so much horsepower. This beautifully painted pottery vase shows Helios driving his chariot pulled by 4 winged horses. It is about 33 centimeters high and has a diameter of about 30 centimeters. This bowl dates from about 430 BC in the Classical period and is currently housed in the British Museum in London, England. Although the bowl was found in the area of Puglia, Italy, the British Museum believes it was likely created in Athens, Greece. Helios is shown with the radiance of the sun emanating from his head. The gods of the stars are shown beneath the chariot as young boys diving into the sea, showing that the scene is set at dawn, when the sun rises and the stars disappear. On the other sides of this vase are scenes showing Selene, the moon goddess, and the gods of various stars. Around the lip of the vase, you can see a ring of flowers, and at the base of the vase is a geometric pattern. This vase is actually a Kylix crater, which was a flower-shaped bowl prominently placed in a dining room primarily used to mix water and wine. These vases were very luxurious, suggesting that they were only to be used by someone with a high status. Chariots were very important to the ancient Greeks and Romans, and ownership of a chariot was considered a luxury available only to those with high status. As I have shown, they can be seen in a large part of ancient peoples' cultures and texts.